Welcome to the BFF Report. I'm your host, Mike B, aka Phony, and today we're going to be talking about Rift from Tryon. It's going to be coming out March 1st, 2011, and I got into Beta 3 and 4, and the focus of this episode is going to be more on lines of character creation, how the mechanics of the game work. Next episode, not next week, but the next episode I cover Rift is going to be more focused on the battlegrounds and some of the dungeons and just the leveling experience overall. So, let's get started.
In their great wisdom, the gods forged Talara at the nexus of the planes.
Too tempting a prize, it attracted the hunger of Regulus and his bloodstorm.
With strength and faith, Talarans drove Regulus beyond the holy...
And by ingenuity,
I knew this video was missing something.
the dragons were imprisoned.
By the way, this intro to Rift tells you how the people of Talara turned it into like a gangsta-ass fantasy Compton 2.0 or something. But before we get all heavy into that stuff, we really gotta talk about character creation. Okay, so first off, you have two factions. With each faction, you have 3 races, and after that, you have 4 callings, and once you pick that, you have 32 subclasses to choose from, but we're not gonna talk about those yet because we still need to talk about character creation. Outside of trying to determine how purple you want to be, you also have individual race abilities that you have to take into consideration when choosing your race. And for the most part, these are not garbage. Take the Bomby, for example. They get some air resistance increase, which may or may not be handy come endgame, a 10-second 40% spell and AP buff on a 5-minute CD, and a passive ability that reduces all damage by 2%. All damage by 2%. So one race gets a considerable offensive and defensive buff. Once you've selected your future linebacker rogue, you get to tailor some of his features a little bit. The face triangle here allows you to quickly morph your guy's head to your liking. Then you get to customize his hairstyle, eye color, facial markings, and of course, the height of the character. Something we're actually missing in a lot of MMOs. Now, when you see this, you're probably like, but maybe we should take a different approach here. Have you ever played Warhammer? They have 6 races and each one has 4 careers, which makes 24 different player types. How about World of Warcraft? They have 10 classes that each have 3 specs, which equals 29 different ways to play your character. Yes, Discipline Priests don't count until after 4.0.6, and after that they're going to be replaced by Arms Warriors, so 29. Anyways, the key difference between this list and those is the way their system works. You get 8 souls per class, plus a PvP soul, and it's like having a single character with 9 trees to mix and match stuff with. Let me give you an example. Let's say you want to be a rogue with stealth and all that, but you want a ranged AoE slow and point building attacks that range detonate on command to allow for coordinated or debuff burst damage. Or you want to be a warrior with amazing lightning blitz ability and have a pet. And you know what? I want to heal myself too. For the most part, you can pretty much do all that, but it all depends on how you spec yourself in their trees, which have roots in them. As you level, you earn points that you can start dumping into your favorite soul. The more points you invest in the tree, the more skills you unlock that are unique to that tree. This function works like skill trees in other games, except that the root system takes the place of purchasing your newly obtained skills from a trainer at a nearby city. So basically, they're saving me a walk, which is nice. But now let's talk about these starting zones, all 2 of them. At first, I was like, wait. There are 6 races and 2 starting zones? Yeah, time to bust out the level 1s, baby! But then I thought about it for a second, and the soul system actually laughs in the face of players suffering from altitis, because unless you are completely unhappy with your chosen calling and all 9 of its souls, or if looking like Rizzo was funny at first, but the novelty seems to have worn off, there is no reason to re-roll. You can simply swap out specs and keep going. The downside is if you want to completely change your playstyle from, let's say, a pure melee to a pure ranged magic user, you will have to re-roll and go through the same quest lines again and again. And let's get on that subject now. Questing in Rift is linear as f***. You do this quest, you make this guy happy, he tells his friends, and they give you a quest, you make them happy, they tell you about friends in a camp just down the road, lather, rinse, repeats. Sounds standard, right? It is. Until, of course, a rift or an invasion or whatever, a whole bunch of crazy big old demon elite dudes come up to the camp and they're all like,
"Oh yeah, we about to get the griefing up in this motherfucker. What's up, NPC quest givers?"
And that pretty much takes your linear questing problem and kicks it in the balls. Oh, excuse me for a minute. I just wanted to make some changes to my UI here real quick. Let's see. And perfect. Anyways, these rifts happen everywhere, and as far as I can tell, it's pretty much random, if you consider always happening all the time random. And when there isn't a rift, there are these groups of thuggish-ass demon gangsters that are straight mobbing around questing zones, ganking players, and it's the first time I've ever played a game where I felt like I was being camped by NPCs. The rift system is very similar to Warhammer's public quest in that there are stages, and when you complete it, you get what seems to be some sort of token or currency that I'm told can be spent on gear, and the amount is based on the contribution you put towards the rift. So you can't just AFK in a rift and just hope to get like some kind of awesome prize for it. You also get a solid amount of XP from doing these rifts, so it's not like they're inconveniencing you by forcing you to take part in these events because the rift maybe spawned in the middle of your quest hub. But the biggest difference between rifts and Warhammer's public quests is that public quests are on a timer and always happen in the same place. Rifts and invasions are random and can happen anywhere in the game. I've yet to experience a zone-wide invasion face-to-face, but it's pretty easy to tell when it's happening regardless of where you are, because the music changes and the sky gets dark and the environment around you gets all emo on you. Allow me to demonstrate how to spot a holy crap rift happening near you. Everything's fine. Everything's not fine. Everything's fine again. Everything has gone to hell. Oh, we're back to normal. Oh, look, we're going back to hell. Q-Jap likes balls. And so on, etc.
You're a survivor as well?
Play a song about it. Level up. Level up. Level up. Level up.
Ding. 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 Ding.